Hi, my name is KiffinyJean, and when I read some of these responses, I knew I had to share them. Redditors whose job requires them to go into other people's homes for a living. What is the most bizarre thing you have ever found? Mike ERK67 says, I'm a plumber. I went down to service the boiler in the basement, and the homeowner walked me through their red room. One wall had whips and spanking utensils. Another had all the chains, cuffs, and ball gags. And there was a glass cabinet that one would expect to find fine china or expensive trinkets. Nope. Dildos and vibrators, all shapes, sizes, and colors. Not one, but 2 sex swings hanging from the ceiling, and a giant sawhorse with rings mounted to it. A medieval-looking rack and a small cage. I mean, to each their own and all. But at least give a fella a heads up before you walk him through a set of 50 Shades of Grey. Can you imagine? Reddit user Kiveropoulos says, I worked for 18 years as a cable telephone service tech in a large metropolitan city. And boy, I have got a lot of stories. Once, at a sketchy building at 8 a.m. when it was 20 degrees, I went out to the balcony to check an entry cable, and there was a dude buck-ass naked, high as a kite, looking at the sun, and we were probably on at least the 10th floor, and it was so cold. He didn't even notice me. Once, I was lifting a ceiling tile in a basement, above a fuse, and the husband's VHS porn collection came crashing down on my and his wife's head. She was not chill. I'm not sure what's shocking, the porn or that it was all VHS. One dude lived with so many snakes. He had a bunch of terrariums, but also just shelves and shelves of them in big Rubbermaid containers under lamps. He sold them, but he also had a ton for pets. His apartment was insanely hot. So many hoarders. So many. Piles of trash that leave you only a small alleyway to walk. Dogs and cat feces everywhere. Insane smells. Coffee cups. Piles of them. And cigarettes everywhere. A house where the sewage had backed up and flooded the entire basement all the way up to a 6-foot poop mark on the walls. They claimed they were waiting on an insurance settlement, but it looked like it probably happened months ago. The place was otherwise insanely disgusting. They were not getting that settlement anytime soon, and I guess that they'd probably been living with that stench for ages. Abject poverty. So much poverty. A poop in a stairwell in a really bad building. Huge rats living in the basements of some old government housing. A man who was so overweight he couldn't leave his bed. An apartment with 2 ODing people. And another dude who was awake and wearing a Superman onesie and winter boots. Call the ambulance and police on that one. A situation where we had to enter an apartment with a police escort to repair a damaged wire. A guy had lit a fire by the wall and burned the outlet. And we also found a 9-inch knife just stabbed into the couch. So many others. Insane wealth. Such absurd and unnecessary wealth. This one dude had a replica life-size statue of a security guard in his front hallway, and I'd said hi to this dude twice until the maid told me he wasn't real. Mostly rich people's places are just boringly nice, though. But I have seen some absolutely bonkers pads that made MTV's Cribs look boring. Anyway, says Kiveropoulos, I've seen a million crazy things. People be crazy, but everyone needs their internet hooked up. I work only on the outside network now, so I don't go into people's homes anymore, but I will never forget a lot of the wild things I've seen. I could sit here forever recounting stuff, but it's getting late. Another poster, Punk Book Jockey 8. Former babysitter. One house had a toilet in the hallway, not a bathroom, just a toilet, literally in the middle of a carpeted hallway. Middle of the hallway, but against the wall. And it totally worked. It was parallel to the wall, not perpendicular. There was zero cover around it, and it faced the stairway. So if you used it and somebody came up the stairs, you were going to make eye contact. I never understood it. It looked like someone just set a toilet down for a minute. There was a full bathroom 6 feet away connected to the hallway. This was a small 2-story house with a family of 4. The hallway was narrow, and if the toilet was perpendicular to the wall, I'm not sure you could have walked down by the hallway without bashing your shins on it, unless you turned it sideways. It did work. It was clean, but probably wasn't used by the family since it was covered in child locks after the toddler discovered flushing things. Reddit user Necessary Offer says, in the 90s, I had a small summer job at an electronic repair shop. I had to deliver and reconnect an elderly woman's 32-inch television. This was the tube kind, and it was huge and heavy. Get to her trailer, and she answers the door. It was a woman in her 70s, wearing a thin cotton shirt, like a dress, that barely reached her mid-thigh and was essentially transparent. No underwear. Everything was on full display. Kept my eyes averted as I hauled the TV in and reconnected it to the cable box and VCR. And when I was done, she took me to her bedroom. All 4 walls were covered in crosses and crucifixes of all shapes and sizes, and she pointed out the gold-plated ones, another crucifix made from olive wood from Israel, another of lapis lazuli. She spent a good half an hour telling me the story of each one. Reddit user Slatrell says, I used to install tile floors. We were working this job at a very nice house with homeowners, and they had a couple of younger boys running around the house. I would guess the boys were around the ages of 4 and 5. There was another crew at the house installing carpet at the same time we were there. The workers had to remove the furniture in the bedroom before installing the carpet. We removed the top mattress from the parents' bed and carried it to another room. Well, the homeowners failed to remember that they had something hidden between the 2 mattresses. So now there was a huge, bright red dildo sitting there out in the open. The best part was, one of the boys came into the room at that time and saw it. Not knowing what it was, he grabbed it and ran out of the room, running around the house looking for his parents to ask them what it was. He found his dad first, and he told him to go back to his mother. So the boy runs off with it held above his head, yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, what is this?" Everyone could hear him and was watching at this point. We'd never seen something so funny and could not help from laughing. I can't imagine having to go into different people's houses all the time and see all of the crazy things people have in their homes. I know I always have to do a nice deep cleaning before the cable guy comes or an electrician needs to work on something. What is the worst thing you've seen inside of somebody else's house? Or do you do a crazy rush cleaning before somebody comes to work on one of your appliances? Let me know. My name is KiffinyJean, and thanks for watching. Remember, like and subscribe. Bye.